Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra and today I am just going to be putting makeup on my face while I tell you about a life update and a channel update. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave. If you like what you see today, this will be a little bit different than my usual content, but hopefully you enjoy it just as much. And subscribing is free, easy, and it helps you find my videos Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday when I upload. And allegedly, if you ring that notification bell to all, YouTube will let you know when that happens. So I've teased in a couple of videos that I had some very exciting news coming up. Thank you to those of you who thought before I disclaimed otherwise that I was young enough to be pregnant. I appreciate that. But no, I'm not pregnant. No more kiddos in the cards for me unless they're animal kiddos. But we are buying a house here in the city in which we live, and this will be the second home that we've bought in the 18 years that my husband and I have been together. So that's my exciting news, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that today, as well as share some new content and a new focus coming up on my channel. So everything that I'm using will be listed down below in the description box, but I'm not going to talk about any of the makeup. I think it'll just make it take longer, and you know, it's not really what the video is about, if I'm being honest. So we're moving. We don't have a closing date just yet. So what it is that we're under contract for this house, and you know, we have the money and all of that. It's just that this house is what they call a short sale. And so what that means is that this house was ready to be foreclosed on, or that they would be foreclosing on this house. And sometimes that makes the process of purchasing and closing on a house take longer, depending on, you know, things like if there's a lien against the house, or just things that they need to take care of before they can sell the house to us. I'm getting ahead of myself though. I first kind of wanted to share with you a little bit about the journey for myself, my husband, and our two kiddos to Colorado. We're originally from Nebraska. Super boring. Both my husband and I were raised in Nebraska. I was born in New York, but he was born in Nebraska. And we were there for a long time, but I think we're just around 30s, in our early 30s, when our very best friends finally pulled the trigger and decided that they were going to be moving to Colorado. It had been a dream of theirs for a really long time, and you know, I was devastated. It hadn't been quite a year, or maybe it had just been a year that they had been here in Colorado when my best friend asked if I would like to come with my kiddos and spend the summer with them here in Colorado and help out with childcare with her two children. I don't work, so of course I was like, yeah, I would love to come spend the summer with you. I'll take care of the kids while you're working, and we'll have fun otherwise. And so I was really excited about that. So we came out here, and I mean, just to get a little hippie on you for a moment. So we got to Colorado with my bestie and her kiddos, and we, you know, came to where they live, which was a condo, a little 3-bedroom condo. And my best friend and I were sitting outside. It was a beautiful early summer day, and it was nice and cool, and the aspen trees were just like sort of twinkling in the breeze. If you've ever seen aspen trees, Their leaves are such that when they move, they almost sort of twinkle. They look like they have some kind of metallic quality to them, in my opinion. But anyways, the aspens were twinkling in the breeze, and I just sat there and I felt the warmth of the sunshine and all of these things, and I just felt like in that moment that I was where I was always meant to be, or meant to end up. So after that, we proceeded to have the most incredible summer that I've ever had with my best friend and her 2 kids and my 2 kids. We had so much fun. We went to a beach that was literally at the base of a mountain, and just, I mean, she really showed us an amazing, amazing time here in Colorado. And fast forward to the end of the summer, my hubby came to get us at the end of the summer, and I didn't want to go home. And I told him that. I said, I don't want to go home. I want to live here. He understood completely. He's very outdoorsy, as am I. We love being outdoors, and you know, that's one of our common interests as husband and wife. And he said, you know, I know I would love to live here too, but it's just not an option for us. There's no way we can make it happen. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so I just went back to my life, you know, in Nebraska. I mean, we do have a lot of family in Nebraska, so that's always a plus, of course. But lo and behold, in my mind, as God would have it, 2 weeks later, my husband was laid off from his job. It was a very good job as well, something that he had really enjoyed doing, but downsizing, the way the world works, you know, not as much seniority as other people, and he had been laid off. And of course, us 2 young people with 2 children were like, oh crap, now what do we do? And it wasn't very long before I said, I wonder if this means that we're supposed to move to Colorado. And we started talking about it, and we said, you know, we decided if we were going to do it, now would be the time, because you could just find a new job in Colorado. And so we packed up our 3-story home back in Nebraska, the first home we ever owned. We packed up our home, just the 2 of us, and, you know, put everything that we could fit, albeit nothing, not all that we owned, but everything we could fit, we put in like a 26-foot U-Haul truck with savings, you know, savings money and a dream, no jobs, no place to live. My bestie, God bless her, and her husband offered us to live in their condo, their 3-bedroom condo, with them and their 2 children. So there would be 8 of us, plus their 2 dogs and our cat. And we moved here on a dream, on a hope and a prayer, and believing that that was why my husband had lost his job and that we were heading, you know, supposed to be coming here. And so we did. And we lived with them for about, I think Brian got a job within about 6 weeks. He's very employable, handy. There's about nothing that he can't do when it comes to doing things or learning things. And I really don't just say that because he's my husband. It's true. So he found a job within the first, you know, month and started working, and then we started looking for a place to live, and we really wanted to live in the same condo complex as our besties did, because why wouldn't we? It would be amazing to just live there, and our kids are all best friends. Our kids are all very, 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 very close in age. And fast forward, we found this condo that we live in right now. At the time, our kids were 5 and 10. They were small, tiny humans, and so this place was perfect for us. And you know, we've lived here now for 7 years, and we love our little condo, we love our little community, and this place has just been perfect since we've lived here. However, now that we've lived here for 7 years, my kids are 17 and 12, and we also now, besides our cat, have 2 bearded dragons, which I've mentioned before. Their cages take up a lot of space. I mean, our juvenile, she's in a 3-foot tank, and then our youngest is in a 2-foot tank or whatever, but they take up a good amount of space, these dragons of ours. And so our kids have doubled in size. Our animal family has grown, and we're just packed in here like sardines at this point. And so another God thing happened this year on the 4th of July. We were at my bestie's house, and we just happened to be out front of her house. And we usually don't hang out in the front of her house. She has a beautiful backyard and everything. And so we usually hang out in back, but we happened to be out in front for a special reason because it was the 4th of July. And I looked up the street, and there was a house for sale. And, you know, we just got to talking. Well, the kids were doing their things. We got to talking about how cool it would be if we all lived next to each other again. By the way, I don't think I said, this condo where we are living was right next to the condo where they were living, but they had since moved because they had another kid and they just didn't have the room. I mean, and I can't blame them. But anyways, so they moved, obviously, because they're in a house. But we were there and we saw this house for sale, and so my bestie Jess, she pulls it up on her phone, and we look at it, and we, you know, ooh and ah, and we're all talking about, as 4 adults, talking about how fun it would be to live next to each other again, like we did when we first moved here and everything. And, you know, there's a couple of times where we had looked at moving or buying a home versus renting and things like that, but it had been a while. And so I was like, I was practically like, please, 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 to my husband, you know, please look into it, talk to the realtor, you know, do what you can do, find out if there's any way that we can get this house. So he did, and the rest is history. We started working with the realtor, and we are, like I said, under contract with this house, which basically means, you know, we're waiting on the seller's bank to sort out what they need to sort out, finish collecting what info they need from us. We have, you know, the money for the down payment and everything all ready to go. So there's really not much left to do besides hurry up and wait. But like I said, we don't have a closing date yet, so I will let you guys know when that is, because we'll be moving, which is part of why I wanted to share this with you guys so early, because you're gonna start seeing changes in my background. I've already started packing. I want to be ready to go when we get that closing date and everything. I would like to get my kids in the new house as quickly as possible, preferably before school starts on September 1st. Our kids, we decided, will not be going back to in-person teaching the first semester with the COVID number rising and things like that. And it did get really bad in Colorado, the sort of first round, if you will. And so I just think that we need to keep them home. Both my daughter and I are immune suppressed, and so we've been very careful all along, as well as you guys you know, may remember or may not remember, but you may remember that my husband was hospitalized in March for severe respiratory distress. He ended up on a ventilator and the whole thing, and so we've just been very careful. Unfortunately, my husband does travel a lot for his job, and so, you know, it's a necessary evil, but it is what it is. It is our livelihood. He enjoys his job very much, and he's just as careful as he can be, and we leave the rest up to, you know, prayer and everything like that, because I don't know what else you could do. Holy moly, Batman. So I really love this new house. I mean, I probably would love any house at this point, because like I said, we're kind of packed in here like sardines. We have, I mean, every closet is full. My daughter's technically living in what is an office, so it's very small. It has no closet, so my kids share the closet that is in my son's room. And, you know, it worked when they were smaller, but as you know, my son's 17, he's going into his senior year of high school, but already taking college classes. My daughter is going into her second year of middle school, and so, you know, there's puberty and things like that going, and so it's just one of those things that it's like, it's time. I love our little condo. I love our little neighborhood. Like I said, there's neighbors that I will really miss once we're gone. Not that we can't, you know, come back and visit or anything, but it is definitely time to go. All right, my eyes are primed, ready to move on for eyeshadow. Here we go. Just to tell you a little bit about the house, it's more house than we've ever had, and I'm so excited about it. It's bigger, it's big, but it's not too big, if that makes sense. And so I'm excited about that. I do have physical limitations, and so that has always been a concern of mine in terms of, you know, not having it too much house to take care of, because my kids aren't going to be around to help forever. Like I said, they're 12 and 17. I'm not kicking them out the door anytime soon or anything, but you know, they aren't going to be here forever, and they're going to get progressively more busy as they move on in their education. I mean, hopefully, with all this COVID business. But it's 4 bedrooms and 4 baths. That's pretty exciting in and of itself. And the one thing that's really exciting about having 4 bedrooms instead of 3 is that I get my own beauty room. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna have to have my bed in my background anymore. You know, I can go do my makeup in the morning even when my hubby's sleeping in, because it'll be in a different room. The whole thing. I can set up my lighting how it needs to be, and, you know, have better quality lighting for you guys. I am just so excited. I'll show you a picture here of what the room looks like. It has blue walls, which I'm not like crazy about, but it's not the worst thing. I just don't know how it's gonna work in terms of filming in there or whatever. I have no idea how I'm going to set it up in there just yet, but I'm excited. So that being said, you know, when we move, I'll be missing some uploads. I thought about pre-filming, but I had to have a honest reality check with myself, to be honest, and admit that I don't have time. I don't have time to pre-film for you guys, unfortunately. I am packing this house up mostly by myself because, you know, my husband's going to be continuing to work until it's time to move, and, you know, the kids help, but they're only so helpful. They're really good kids and they have been a huge help, but the point of the matter is there's a lot to be done. I need to get things packed. I need to sort of deep clean a little bit. Our landlords have been so good to us, so, you know, I really want to keep that positive relationship intact even though we won't be renting from them anymore. I'm also going to need time to, you know, sort of set up shop of not just my beauty space but also my house. And so there will be some missed uploads. I just know there will be. I'm shooting for only missing a week, but it might be closer to 2 weeks. I might just be, you know, graceful with myself because we have some other things that, you know, are sort of going to be happening because we're moving into a house that, you know, we kind of want to get accomplished. Both of my kids, bless their hearts, my son has always wanted his own dog, and so that's going to happen. Once we move in, he's buying the dog himself because he wants an Alaskan Malamute, and, you know, the dog is quite a bit of money, but it's even more money to have the dog brought to us, so to speak, or to him. And so, but I'm super excited. I'm excited for him. I mean, I always want just those like traditional things for my kids, you know, like a boy and his dog, and, you know, that kind of thing. A girl in her canopy bed, whatever their little dreams are. I like to meet those dreams, you know, as much as possible while still making them into human beings that appreciate blessings. And then the thing that my daughter has always wanted is a rabbit, a bunny. And so that's going to happen as well. And then, oh, another great thing about this house is it's technically what's considered unincorporated of the city, within the city that we live, and that means I get to have chickens. I'm so excited. I've wanted chickens like since we've lived here, and especially since my bestie got her chickens. I just can't even stand it. So I'm kind of excited about that. We're not going to get our chickens until spring because at this point, even though you can keep chickens outside during the winter here in Colorado, it's fairly temperate, and the chickens do just fine. It sounds cruel, but it's not at all cruel. So anyways, by time that they would get big enough, they wouldn't be big enough to make it through the winter, if that makes sense. So we are waiting until closer to spring. We've been talking about chicken names and stuff like that, just for fun. I found the coop that I want, and I'll put a picture up here for you just for gits and shiggles. I have never used this palette before, which is the Juvia's Place, the mini Nubian. I think that's what it is. I won this in a giveaway from my girl Angela, from Beauty by Angela. So yeah, that's the news. I'm not pregnant. We're buying a house. We're getting chickens and bunnies and a huge fluffy dog. All the other animals are coming with us. The dragons and our cat Lucille, who some of you may remember. She used to love to be in here when I would film. I'm gonna take a quick break and curl my lashes and put on mascara, and then we will finish off the look and talk about my channel update. Okay, I'm back, and I just applied a little bit of the Bambi Eye mascara from L'Oreal and the eye bright liner from Pixi, which is just a matte nude colored liner on the lower inner rim, and I have mascara on my face. So I don't know if I made it perfectly clear or not, but this house that we're buying is literally like 5 houses away from our besties. Like, our kids have joked about putting a zip line between our houses because they're that close, which is so amazing. If it's like reunited and it feels so good. Can't sing, but you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be so fun, especially for the kiddos. You know, they're all besties and just super close with each other, and so I'm just so glad that we'll be closer to them again. So I just couldn't be happier. Now, in terms of my channel, I had talked about in a recent video how I felt like I wanted to kind of change the direction of my channel and start practicing as well as teaching and talking about makeup for your real life. You know, so many of you agreed with me and or expressed your thought and desire for more real makeup here on YouTube. Makeup that not only looks good under the studio lighting, but also looks good in real life and is appropriate for real life. Not that, you know, full beat, full glam, whatever isn't appropriate, but so many of us, or you, don't necessarily feel comfortable wearing false lashes to work or wearing liquid liner every day or what have you, or, you know, whatever. Or you want to get into color, but you want it to be wearable. These are all things that I want to share with you here on my channel, because I definitely got into this sort of grind of being a beauty YouTuber and, you know, doing the full beat of makeup, feeling compelled to wear foundation every day, even though it's terrible for my skin. You know, full coverage, matte finish, all the things, you know, liquid liner, lashes, everything, and that's just not me. I mean, I do like a full beat, but I like something more like this that is like natural and glowy. I don't have foundation on, I just have a little bit of a tinted moisturizer on, which is really my preference, either that or nothing at all. I love going without foundation, but I just really want to focus on real life makeup, or makeup for your real life, on my channel, and that is my promise to you. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is the finished look. I really like how it looks. I'm going to my besties to swim today, and I'm really excited about it, and I just had to get on here and finally share my news with you guys, and just tell you what's going on, and that I will definitely be disappearing for a tiny bit in the future when we move, but I will let you know when that happens, and I hope you'll stick around and stay tuned for lots of new real life makeup focused content. So thank you so much for sharing in my excitement with me today. I'm so glad that each and every one of you are watching this video. I hope you're staying safe and well in the current circumstances in which we are living, and I hope all of your makeup days, if you're wearing makeup right now, are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I will see you in my next video soon.